Good morning, rejects. It is bright and early in the morning, 7 a.m. My ass ain't used to waking up this early, but the Rogue One, a Star Wars I'm so tired. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, the last trailer apparently, has just dropped. Thank you, good morning, America. If I seem a little off in my speech, like I am now, I'm editing a sketch that's going to be up later today. I've been putting in a lot of work into it, John and I. Keep a lookout for that. We're going to put it up in a few hours. But first, let's watch this. Quit beating around the bush.
Jin, whatever I do,
Death
to
Troopers.
protect you. So you understand?
I understand.
Wow. Valhalla.
You want to get here?
Our rebellion is all that remains to push back the Empire. I think you might be able to help us.
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
What is this? It appears he is critical to the development of a super weapon.
Oh, what?
If my father built this thing, we need to find him.
All right. How many do I need?
They are requesting a call sign. It's Rogue One.
Sweet.
The power that we are dealing with here is immeasurable.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
We have hope.
Rebellions are built on hope.
That's kind of cheesy.
They've no idea we're coming.
Take hold of this moment. The force is strong. Make 10 men feel like 100.
We'll take the next chance. And the next. You're rebels, aren't you?
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
Save the rebellion. Save the dream. Wow, there's a lot of quotable lines in this trailer, man. Mads Mikkelsen. I don't know. I'm the worst with. If I don't hear someone else pronounce someone's name, I tend to get it wrong. Mads Mikkelsen is really making his rounds around the Disney World, huh? Well, Disney World. I know he's in Doctor Strange, he's in this. I know from what I read earlier that he's Jin's father and that he's the one who sent a transmission, like reports about the planning of the Death Star. So I'm assuming he's some like great scientist who probably got kidnapped early on, and that's what they were showing us in the trailer, was that he probably got kidnapped by those Death Troopers and that he was sort of forced into building this Death Star. And I really like that touch of the story because it's making this so much more personal. This really seems to be less about the spectacle. Granted, there's a lot of spectacle in this trailer, but it seems to be a lot more about the human drama and the human emotion, the relationships that are forming here. We gotta see more of Ben Mendelsohn as Orson Krennic in the trailer, and in my opinion, I think he looks like he's doing a really good job. Ben Mendelsohn to me is an amazing actor. I mean, I haven't seen too many of his films. I really dug him in The Place Beyond the Pines. And in this movie, the human emotion seems more grounded in like a human emotion reality, because I know this is all fiction, but he doesn't feel like he's hamming it up. You know, you still get that evil vibe from him, that untrustworthy vibe, because he's the guy who's like pretty much in charge of building the Death Star. But you really do get a sense for like an evil genius, and I love that touch, because he doesn't seem like he's hamming it up or really chewing up the scenery. He has that subtlety of someone who's cruel but highly intellectual at the same time. I really like the footage that we got here of Donnie Yen and Jiang Wen. Like, there seems to be a perfect contrast here, because Donnie Yen, his character is really in touch with the Force, and he's much more of a spiritual, more centered guy who is ready to kick ass at a moment's notice with his staff/blaster, which is awesome. I mean, one thing I'm kind of worried about is that he's only gonna have like one cool fight scene that they keep showing little bits of from the trailers, because they cut back to the same fight scene that we saw in the other trailers, just a different moment of that fight in this specific trailer. But it's cool that we're getting 2 different Asian actors in one Star Wars movie, and they're part of the main ensemble. And I was talking with John about this yesterday. It really feels that Asian actors have kind of been getting dicked over a lot when it comes to certain adaptations, certain roles in Hollywood. And I'm half Filipino, so I support the Asians taking a stand. They both seem to have some really cool personalities. I'm already a big fan of Donnie Yen's IP Man films. Not familiar with Jiang Wen, I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name right. But I love his attitude already. Like, you could tell this guy's a traumatized dude. From my understanding, his home world has been like an Imperial occupied. So he has a real kind of distaste for the Imperial Army. But I'm excited to see the back and forth exchange that him and Donnie Yen have, because Donnie Yen's much more of a Zen kind of warrior, and this guy seems to be much more rough around the edges. But you can tell there's gonna be like a definite respect for this guy, because even Donnie Yen's like cracking up at his dry sense of humor. I like that, when you got 2 very different personalities. Most likely some of these people are going to die, because this takes place right before episode 4, and I don't recall seeing any of these guys in there. I wouldn't be surprised if they all die. But I'm sure at least like Donnie Yen or Jiang Wen are gonna die. I like what they're doing with K2SO. I like what they're not showing him that much in the trailers, really, because I know like the episode 1, everyone hated Jar Jar Binks. And then when people try to defend Jar Jar Binks, they usually attack C-3PO. I don't know why, I think C-3PO is fucking hilarious. But it's gonna be interesting to see that they have like their own, their own Terminator 2 in there, in terms of, a bad machine that they reprogrammed to work for them and to help the resistance. It's exactly for Terminator 2. That's what Arnold is. That is Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. Not very original Star Wars. I really hope that scene plays out a little bit differently. I mean, it seems like they kind of sliced the group reacting to a different thing than what Jin is saying when she says, "We have hope. Rebellions are built on hope." Because what especially didn't like sell me on that was when Donnie Yen was like, it's just like, everyone's like, you know what? She's got a point. She's got a point. We all can do this. Because I know Gareth Edwards had like a pretty significant dark vision for this specific story. And then there were rumors about how they reshot it to make it much more lighter in tone. I really feel like they're trying to make sure that gets across in this trailer, because the other trailers are fairly dark. And I was okay with that. And I hope this doesn't get like corny like that here. Because everything I've heard about what Gareth Edwards' specific vision for this and what he hopes to achieve with it, sometimes those cheesy moments in this trailer sort of took it away from me. I'm sure when I'm watching the actual film, I'm gonna be like, all amped up and really into it. It's the way they cut that moment, because it just doesn't seem like she said it and that's the exact reaction that happens in the movie. It looks like they took like a later part of that meeting and then they showed that reaction and made it look like they were reacting to that. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot all the names of the new planets that are being introduced here, and I don't know how to pronounce them. In the trailer, I think we saw like 3 specific battle sequences. Yo, cats. I'm filming. Specific different, yo, what are you doing? I think we saw 3 specific battle sequences. I mean, there was one that took place at night on land. There's another one at the beach. And then there's another one with the Rogue Squadron in space. There just really seems to be like real epic human drama going on in the midst of the actual battles. Like, the battle sequences that they're showing here in the trailer, it might play out differently in the movie, but the way they were playing out here, they felt like there was a real heavy weight to each battle. It wasn't just like, this is gonna be a cool scene in the next Star Wars film, this is gonna be an exciting set piece. It seemed like that this is gonna be some real intense shit that is going down. Like, they would even cut to shots of them in the middle of the war where you can, there's one character, I mean, I can't find it, I mean, maybe I could find it. Yeah, it looks like the character that Riz Ahmed is playing, I feel like it's from the beach sequence. He even has this look on his face like, oh shit, this might be it, I'm gonna die. But I'm gonna fucking fight anyway. And I love that like triumphant hero. Because now that I think about it, granted, like, our heroes in the Star Wars movies, they are technically a part of the rebellion, But this feels like the first time where I'm gonna feel a real strong vibe, at least on my end. Like I'm gonna feel a really strong vibe for the rebellion. You know, it's not just about like the protagonist of the story, but I feel like I'm gonna really root for the rebellion, even though it's a prequel and you know we know the outcome of things. But it's nice knowing that it's like instead of just focusing on Luke or Han or Rey, that I really feel like we're going to develop a strong connection with the rebellion as a whole. And that shot too, where Darth Vader, he's coming through the smoke and he's like pacing at Ben Mendelsohn. Most likely, I get a feeling that if someone doesn't just shoot Ben Mendelsohn, he's most likely going to get destroyed by Darth Vader. I feel like we're going to get Darth Vader in it, like maybe a decent amount, but I feel like Ben Mendelsohn will be the primary antagonist in this film. And I think it'd be cool if Darth Vader killed him. So far, this looks really cool. The other two trailers I thought were really epic. This one definitely has a really like tugging at the heartstrings kind of vibe here. A little bit more cheesy, inspiring dialogue from Jin than I was expecting because it's showing, because you know, like her character is usually a lone warrior and then she becomes part of this. I know there's going to be that arc where she's, you know, feels like she's something more important and she's a big part of this section of the resistance. I feel like they were showing us more of what she probably turns into later on in the movie than I would have liked to have seen early on. This is called Rogue One, and I know part of the reason why they titled it Rogue One was to link it to Jin's character, and they were showing her more as a leader in this trailer, which I know the movie has to get to, and it's gonna do that, but I am really excited to see that like lone warrior personality. I always think that's kind of cool to watch the growth into that, and because this trailer was kind of making it look like she just is that from the beginning. And what I love what this film's doing, I know diversity is a thing that more movies are trying to do. This film is very diverse in terms of its cast. You know, you got a British actress in there, you got Hispanic actors in there, you got Forrest Whitaker, you got a cool Forrest Whitaker, all black man in there. You got a couple of Asian dudes in there. Yeah, I really like the whole cast. You got a robot in there, and I feel like robots have been getting hate even before they started taking over the world. Yeah, Rogue One, December cannot come soon enough. Anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe today. Become a reject. Join the rebellion. And you can follow us on social media stuff. I might take a nap.